Good evening and welcome to our next edition of Cooking with Michael.
And Candace, the tree hugger.
That's right, the tree hugger. She's here again, as always. First of all, thank you all who watched. We do apologize for the technical difficulties last week. It was after we were all done and we went to go edit and we realized it was a massive microphone failure, but we fixed it. So
it just sounded like we had dumped the entire thing in a washing machine.
Yeah.
All we got was washing machine sound and absolutely no dialogue at all.
So we hope you watch the rest of it, watch the whole episode, and those of you who stuck with us, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
It's part of growing, I guess. As the show continues to grow and get better, we have these little technical difficulties, but we're going to be bringing in some people this coming week to help us do some more growing and helping us with camera and
better growing.
Better growing. So
not washing machine growing.
Not washing machine. This is real, real growing. So again, thank you all. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into it. Again, first of all, thank you, Untitled Chapter Beer and Wine, for our Pinot Grigio and our Sauvignon Blanc. Andrew always has our back, Chapter Beer and Wine. Huge supporter of us. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And of course, check out our website, cookingwithmichael.us. All right, now that we got that all out, we were talking this week, what are we going to do for the episode? And Candace said, let's do green. I'm like, fantastic, green. So we're going to do like lime jello. We're going to do green eggs and ham.
Vegetables.
We're going to cook a bunch of leafy green vegetables. What kind of... No, I don't want to do this.
No, that's not what it is.
It's not what a green episode is?
No.
What's a green episode?
We are going to learn some quick, easy, cheap ways that we can green our kitchen. We can be more environmentally friendly in our kitchens. A lot of people hear environmentally friendly and they think, oh my God, I can't do that. It's so big and complicated, or it's expensive, or both. And while it can be those things, if that's the direction you want to go, really the greenest way to be is to just consume a whole lot less stuff. What you do consume, you consume things that can be readily reused.
Wait, are we going to compost?
We might.
Oh no! Tree hugger!
You'll live.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing that you can do is you can get yourself some water bottles.
Can you put wine in there?
You can, but I think your boss might have a problem with it.
I don't know, we'll ask him while I'm drinking my Pinot Grigio. Go ahead, next.
So I prefer to get the metal.
It's a episode. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a Michael interruption episode. I prefer to get the metal ones for my kids. They do have the plastic lids though, still, the ones that I got. You can get these at Target. I imagine you can get them at Walmart as well. But these were not that expensive. I think they were like $12 when I got them a couple of years ago. And you can see they've been used by kids, and one lid has been banged around. The little handle portion broke off, but guess what? This and this are fine. They still work. You use what you have until it doesn't work anymore. Not until it's not pretty anymore. Use it till it doesn't work. This is a great example. It still works, and you know what? My son, the one that broke this handle off, has never complained about, why does mine not have a handle anymore? Why is it broken? He asked once, and I said, oh yeah, but it still works as a water bottle, so we're still going to use it. Okay. He's never mentioned it since.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. Oh, sorry.
The next thing that you can do that's green, quick, easy, cheap.
Let me ask you a quick question. So, but green, you keep saying cheap, but isn't green expensive?
It can be.
Like when we talk about green,
say,
like we're putting solar panels on the roof, which is, by the way, a great thing. But I mean, those are tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, long term, it actually does end up being cheaper. But yes, it is a big short-term investment, just like buying an electric car. You can also just drive less, or you can get one of the cheaper electric cars.
Less expensive, we like to call it, by the way. The Mustang Mach-E.
I'm clearly not in sales.
Sorry, moving on. But the stuff that we're doing, and because again, everything we do.
That's what I'm trying to show. Is these are things that don't cost you a lot of money. And in fact, in the medium term, will end up saving you money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So they're both green, and they're going to save you money.
Is wine green?
I'm just going to keep on going at this point. So the next thing that we come to is cleaning. think most people are still using the plastic bottle of multi-purpose cleanser. They work fine. They have some ingredients, some of them that are a little questionable as to whether they're healthy for you. I know that for me personally, they dry the living crap out of my hands. So I use my glass water bottles and my homemade stuff instead. And my skin is much better. My hands are much better because of it. And nobody's died of food poisoning yet. So I think we're doing okay. I think we're getting things clean.
Wait, didn't we have 4 kids to start off with?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, different
that was
wife.
your imaginary friend.
Different wife. Anyway.
So, typically what I use is just soap and water.
So you get these little bottles of stuff and...
These little, yeah, I really prefer to use these, but I've broken all of mine. So I've switched over to using what I have. The little ones, I just refill them a little more often. But yeah, ideally you get something big like this. You get a big 16-ounce one. And
where would you get that?
I found mine on Amazon. So you can Google search glass bottles and a bunch of companies will come up. The problem that I found with going outside of Amazon for my glass bottles is that they sell them in bulk, like in 50 at a time.
Okay.
And I just don't have space to store 50 of these things until I break them. Plus, I don't want to have 50 of them around so that I'll say, oh, it's okay if I break one. You want to keep your stuff as long as you can, okay? So I typically use soap and water for general cleaning. Some people like something a little less soapy and a little more vinegary. You can do 1/3 of a bottle of vinegar, 2/3 of a bottle of water, 2 pumps of hand soap, we'll get to that later, and then several drops of whatever essential oil you want to use for scent. I will say be careful if you have cats. Double check online to make sure that your essential oil of choice is safe for cats. And if you're using it on a surface that they can get to, it is getting on their fur. And if it's getting on their fur, when they groom, it's going in their belly, in their bloodstream.
Real quick, Karen, we want to make sure that cat part was for you, but the cats, you can see, they're very healthy. So whatever Candace is using is obviously keeping them healthy, and you got to see cats. So, kitties! Okay.
And the dishwasher is keeping them warm right now.
That's true.
Okay, so when you want to deodorize something, you can either use rubbing alcohol or you can use really cheap vodka, or I use vinegar and essential oils. Just enough until you don't smell the vinegar anymore. And you can use that for your air freshener. Okay. And the last one that I use for cleaning, because you may think, well, what do I do when I need to kill some germs, right? You can always, fill up a bottle with a little bit of Clorox and the rest of the way with water. You can do that if you like, if you're okay with using Clorox. I know a lot of greeny people don't like to use Clorox, so here's what I use, hydrogen peroxide. You know what it's fantastic for? Our wood cutting board. Show them our wood cutting board, honey.
I'm Vanna today. That's right. Here's our wood cutting board.
Yeah. So every single time we use it, before and after we clean it, we wash it, because we have to wash it beforehand because our cats lay on it. But after we're done using it, we've cut meat on it, we wash it with soap and water, but to make certain we got rid of all the germs, we spray straight hydrogen peroxide straight out of the bottle, just pour it in here, spray it, let it air dry, and put it away, and it's clean.
So real quick though, so use hydrogen peroxide clean, but you're talking about this one hasn't killed, we haven't died from food poisoning. Does the vinegar and stuff also kill bacteria? Vinegar
will if you have enough vinegar in it. You've got to have at least 1/3 of a bottle of vinegar, which means then you have to put even more. Okay, for me, I hate the smell of vinegar, which means I have to put even more essential oils in here, which makes it more expensive for me. So I'm a cheapskate, so I like to do the soap and water.
Soap and water takes care of the cleaning the
It does really, because the soap will start to break down the membrane. It will break down the outer membrane, and then once you stay in the membrane, and then you take your cloth, instead of paper towels, just buy yourself towels, dishcloths, and then use whatever rags, whatever old washcloths you don't use anymore. Use them for your heavy-duty cleaning stuff that you don't want to leave sitting out.
This was my baby blanket, by the way.
It was not.
Oh, sorry.
The soap and the rubbing action of the rag will break down and tear apart the cells of the bacteria.
So it's really cleaning too. So really, so we don't need to have those
they're
spray bottles.
they're overkill. Yeah, they're overkill for the most part. So that's for your bottle and towel cleaning.
Interesting.
And for your hand cleaning, the cheapest, greenest way to go for hand cleaning is always going to be bar soap. But if you don't like bar soap, or you have kids and you don't think they're going to wash their hands properly, or they're not going to take care of the bar soap, they're going to let the bar get wet, then you can use, oops, I just spilled on myself. I'm using my towel. Then you can use the liquid soap. There are a number of companies that do this. You've got these. Anyway, the way you want to just get any of your hand soap, just preferably foaming, because most of them come in a foaming formula. Get yourself a foaming hand soap dispenser. I just reused plastic bottles that we already had here. If you keep your place really pretty, you can get yourself a nice glass one if you want.
So pretty.
But anyway, I just reused what I already had. And what you do is you fill up the bottle with warm water, and then you tear.
Does that air cool off though? Would you put it in there?
It doesn't need to stay warm.
Oh, okay.
It just needs to be warm to make the tab dissolve. So they usually come individually wrapped like this. I'm not terribly thrilled about that, but at least they do all come in paper, and that can be composted or recycled.
Compost!
So I'm going to put this right into my, no, I'm not, because I have to put this back in. So this can go right into your compost. We'll get to more of that later. And then you just drop this in here. I've already refilled mine. But see, it just looks like regular hand soap. And give me your hand. See?
I got foam.
It's regular soap. It's regular hand soap. It's not, there's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing about it that's sort of substandard and you're like, it'll do because it's green. I don't like it, but I'll suffer through. It's really no different from any other foaming soap.
So let me ask you a question. With that said, so let me see the tablet before you put it away.
Yes.
Okay, so this tablet, why is this more green and better?
I'm so glad you asked me that because I forgot to mention it. Thank you.
I'm good for something. Tree hugger husband.
When you go to the store and you get, the soaps that say, oh, we have a refill available. It's greener. It's more eco-friendly. And they'll sell you this refill in a plastic pouch, and it's already liquid. It's already mostly water. Well, why are we paying to transport water? Water, we have coming into our houses, most of us at least, have good, clean, perfectly fine water coming into our houses through the faucets, multiple faucets, and it's very cheap.
And in this house, it's a lot of water. You can get out of
whether
the
you want it or not.
The ceiling, the walls, the floors. Hell, you got water. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so, why are we paying to transport water? Why are we paying somebody from the consumer perspective? Why are we paying for water? I've got water, right? But also, water is heavy. Water is heavy to transport. That means you've got to spend more gas to move that soap from the manufacturer to the store to you. And remember, you're driving to the store, picking it up and bringing it on over. So that's like twice the mileage. The mileage that you're doing is twice the mileage. And all of that adds into the cost of the product. So you realize you're paying for water. It's jacking up your price of everything. Let's quit paying for water. But also because of the gas, it's worse for the planet. Strictly for that. Also, if you're shipping something that is liquid, you've got to have. Most manufacturers are going to ship in plastic, and we want to limit our single-use plastic. Because every single piece of plastic that has ever been made. Every single piece that's been made is still here. It might not be in a, intact in something that is usable anymore, but it is still here on the planet, in the landfills. I'm getting there. Shut up. And recyclable. As far as recycling goes, plastic, many plastics are recyclable. Many of them are only recyclable for one more time. And most they can be recycled for, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I believe they can only be reused times.
Really?
Yeah. So this
what
whole
happens
idea of it ends up in a landfill or floating down your local stream all the way out to the river and the bay.
Wow.
And then out into the ocean and that big, trash pile in the ocean.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I learned something new. Candace at cookingwithmichael.us.
So that's why getting the bar soap or the tab is going to be better for your pocketbook. You're going to get a higher quality product for the same amount of money, and it's better for the planet. Shipping costs are, in terms of shipping environmental costs, the gas that you spend to ship things is enormous for our modern economy. And anything that we can do to minimize that, like making our own cleansers at home or buying the tabs and stocking up in 12 at a time. Okay, so do we have any more questions about our soap? Okay, and I don't want to leave out, for your dishwashing soap, everybody needs to have a little dishwashing soap, even if you usually do your dishes in the dishwasher. There's going to be something that you're going to have to hand wash. There may be a stain that you have to clean up in the laundry room. This actually works great for that too. This is a solid dish soap bar.
So it's different than... This is stupid comment.
It's different than a hand soap bar.
It's different than... Well, but it's also different than the liquid soap, which is what I was going to say. But
well, yeah, because it's not liquid.
Yeah, I said it was going to sound stupid. But I have to be honest, I was not a fan of this until about a week ago. We had it for about a year.
It ends up being so much cheaper than buying the dish soap. And again, you're not throwing out those plastic bottles wondering, oh great, where is it going? You have to learn
how to use it. And my wife...
tried to so many times.
Yeah, and I'm an idiot. But anyway, the cool thing was, she doesn't have it here. I'm going to grab it. So what does she do? A loofah sponge. She cuts a loofah sponge
in half, yeah. And it works great to build up the bubbles because it's got all the holes in it. So you wet your loofah. Literally, you rub it on your soap 2 or 3 times. Okay? Then you put just a teeny bit more water on and you just squeeze like this. And the bubbles, it'll make bubbles, and then you're ready to scrub whatever it is you gotta scrub.
Anyway, so it took me a year to figure that out, but it ended up being a really cool idea. So,
and one more thing, if you're getting your dish soap, right, but you're strapped for cash or you just plain old forgot to get a dish stand thingy, you don't need to spend a lot of money on them, okay? Just save a lid and put 2 rubber bands on it. 1 rubber band this way and 1 rubber band this way. It's going to prop up your soap and keep it out of the water. Because if your bar soap gets wet, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good in terms of the lasting department. But if you take care of your bar soap, keep it dry, it's going to last you a very long time.
Hints from Tree Hugger.
Yeah, hints from Hugger.
Hints from Hugger.
That's what we.
I think we should
stumbled upon.
So, all right, so you've seen some of the stuff. The good thing about this is it's going to be a 2-part episode. We didn't kind of tell you that in the beginning because we wanted to keep you in suspense. But it's a 2-part episode, and why? Because this stuff is so important,
and because we know we run our mouths way too much.
Yeah, that too. Fact. But you'll see stuff next week on the next, of more stuff that she does that we've shown you. But even after that, there is more stuff.
There are other rooms in the house. There are other life forms in the house.
So, maybe we should, again, we joked about it, but, hints from Hugger. So if you think Hints from Hugger would be a good show, let us know. I'm more than happy to add that and add it to our website too. So, but anyway, so come back next Saturday night, part 2, 8 p.m. Tree Hugger episode. Oh, Tree Hugger. I need to keep doing this because anyway, so come back next Saturday, 8 p.m.
Apparently he thinks trees are shaped like this.
Apparently I do. So come back.
I don't know. I guess kind of they are if you're drawing them in a stylized way. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave you alone.
All right. So
sorry.
That's okay.
I digress.
Watch part 2 of this episode next week, next Saturday night, 8 p.m. You'll see the rest of the stuff. So she'll talk about compost. So we'll show you that, and we'll show you a bunch of stuff. So again, like, share, subscribe, enjoy. I know it wasn't food this week, but so
it's the kitchen.
It's the
kind
kitchen.
of food related.
It's food related, but it brings it all together. So we'll see you next Saturday night, 8 p.m. for part 2 of Cooking with Michael
and Candace, the tree hugger.
The tree hugger. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
For urine samples when I would go to the doctor.
No, you didn't.
Did I? My mom made me pee in a jar that we put the lid on.
Okay, it's a cooking show, and we're talking about reusing things. We want to encourage people who don't currently reuse things to reuse them, and you're talking about urinating in them?
Apparently we're going to edit that out. Go ahead.
Or we're going to leave it in to show off what an ass you are.
Facts.
Rare.
Sorry.
Okay.